Hello and welcome to our lesson on working out an angle using basic trigonometry. Today we will find the unknown angle in a right angle triangle using SOHCAHTOA. Please make sure that your calculator is on the degrees setting. We need two lengths of the triangle to find an angle using trig, and then we will use change side, change sign to solve. So let's begin. These are the steps that you will need to follow with trigonometry in a right angle triangle. So step 1, we label the sides O, H and A. Let me demonstrate. Okay, so what we've got here is a very crudely drawn right angle triangle. Okay, so here's the right angle, and the side opposite the right angle, which most of you will know, is called the hypotenuse. The side opposite the angle is called the opposite, very creative, and the other side is called the adjacent. Okay, so step 2 with these questions is we write down the formula. So SOHCAHTOA, the SO means sine x, and that's x is the angle, equals opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine, and that's cosine of the angle, equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And tan of x equals opposite over adjacent. So then we substitute opposite, hypotenuse and adjacent into the formula, and then we solve by using change side, change sign. Okay, so let's go through an example. So an example, and we're going to use this right angle triangle here. Find the size of the angle marked with an x to 2 decimal places. Okay, so just to make things a bit more clear, I'm going to mark on the right angle. So the right angle is on 90 degrees, and this angle here is angle x. So that angle of elevation is what we are trying to find. So the first thing that we've got to do, step 1, is to label. So that's our hypotenuse. This one here is opposite our angle, so that's called opposite, and then this one here is adjacent. So the two sides that we know are adjacent and hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse. And if we write down our SOHCAHTOA, which is our general formula, SOHCAHTOA, what we're after is the one with the A and the H in. That kind of looks like Australia in a way, that shape. Anyway, so we're looking for the one that includes A and H, and in this case that is cosine. So what we do is we substitute our numbers 19 and 23 in for A and H. So let's just write it down here. So 19 is A, so A equals 19, and the H from the diagram equals 23. Okay, and you can see that quite clearly here. H is that, and A is 19. So now, step 3, we say cos x equals 19, which is A, over H, and H is 23. So step 4, we are trying to get x by itself, and that's this x. So we move across the cos to the other side by using change side, change sign. And if you're unsure with the change sign method, then please look for our solving equations video, but I'll just do a quick description here. Basically, if you've got something like x plus 3 equals 7, we would move the plus 3 across to the other side and it would become negative 3. Okay, so it's the opposite. So in this case here, we've got a cos on this side. We're trying to get the x by itself, so we move the cos across to the other side and it becomes the opposite of cos, which is cos to the power negative 1. And that's what this little upside down triangle means. Okay, so it becomes cos to the minus 1 of 19 over 23. So therefore x equals 34.3. And if you just put this into your calculator, then it will give you this, and then you round it to 2 decimal places, which is what the question asked for. Okay, so it's your go, your turn, and please work out the size of the angles marked x to 2 decimal places. Okay, so let's have a look, and I'll just mark on the right angles. Okay, so that one there's your right angle, and this one here is your angle x, and this one here is your angle. Okay, so first of all, and I'll help you label the sides. This one here is hypotenuse because it's opposite the right angle. This side here is opposite the x, so that's O, and then this one here is A. Okay, so pause the video and have a go at trying to work out what angle x is on both of these, and then I will go through them. Okay, so question 1. So first of all, we label the triangle OH and A, and step 2, the general formula. So first of all, let's go back to our slide and label our triangle. So we've got opposite, which is 10, and hypotenuse, which is 18. So 10 and 18. Okay, so opposite is 10 and hypotenuse is 18. Okay, so then what we do is we write out our formula, SOHCAHTOA, and we're after the one with O and H in, which of course is SO. And the SO is sine x equals opposite over hypotenuse. Then we substitute our values in, so O is 10 and H is 18. O is 10, 18 is the hypotenuse. Next, we try and get the x by itself, so we've got to bring across the sine to the other side, and when we bring sine across to the other side, it becomes sine to the power negative 1, and that is to all of that. And then we put that in the calculator. Remember, on most calculators you've got to press shift and then the sign button to get the sine to the minus 1, but all calculators are different. Just look out for the sine to the minus 1. If you've got any questions with that, just get in touch with us via the link on the description of the video. Okay, so sine to the minus 1 of 10 over 18 equals 33.75, and that's to 2 decimal places. Okay, so now let's have a look at question 2. And question 2 was, let me just jog my memory. So this was question 2 here. So question 2 was 3.9 centimeters and 7 centimeters. So the first side that we label is the hypotenuse, which is opposite the right angle. Next side that I would label is the side opposite the angle that we're given, which is this one, and then the next one is the adjacent, and that's the one between the right angle and the angle that you're given. Okay, so O is 7 and A is 3.9. So let's just write that down before we forget. So O is 7 and A was 3.9. Okay, so we've labelled the triangle, we've figured out that we've got O and A, and so therefore we've got to use tan. So tan of x equals O over A. O is 7, so we substitute that into the formula, and A is 3.9. Now with any solving equation we're trying to get the x by itself or the unknown by itself, so we've got to circle the tan and move it across to the other side, and it becomes tan to the minus 1, or inverse tan. So x equals tan to the minus 1 of 7 over 3.9, and if you put that into the calculator you would get 60.88, and that's degrees because it's an angle. Okay, so well done if you managed to get those correct. And that is our lesson on finding an angle of a right angle triangle using trigonometry SOHCAHTOA. Just a quick recap, you need 2 lengths in a right angle triangle to find the angle. If you have any questions, then please click on the link in the description and we are happy to help. Well done.